All right, guys, I want to bring you some valuable information today because I know that your time is valuable and I respect that. So stay tuned. We're going to go over some basics in the Deus 2 programs, and we're also going to have some pro tips. The Deus 2 is the most versatile detector in the world at this time and the highest performing detector in the world at this time. It has some great programs on it which can be daunting to the new user, and we're going to try to ease the learning curve for that this morning. Where to use the programs and why to use the programs and when to use the programs. So stay tuned and welcome to my channel. Hit the like button, subscribe if you get value out of this video, and come back and join us in the very near future as I'm going to be going through the XP Deus 2 with a series of tutorial videos that can be found on my homepage in the XP Deus tutorial subsection. So stay tuned. Here we go. Program number 1, General. First of all, let me say that the General program, the name does not do this program justice. This program should be called a very special program. General has some very special characteristics about it, and number 1 being this little thing right beside the red arrow called conductive soil subtraction. And one side note before we start and dive into that, the max frequency 40 kilohertz, that will be the next tutorial video that I do, and the benefits of being able to change the max frequency on your simultaneous multi-frequency, and we will try to dive into that and get a deeper understanding of how that can be utilized to help you find more coins, relics, artifacts, jewelry, whatever you're searching for. Conductive soil subtraction. What could that be? Well, conductive soil subtraction allows the General program to be used in highly saturated wet soil. So if you're out detecting and it's been raining a lot, or you're in lowlands that hold a lot of moisture and water in the soil, in previous generation detectors, there would be a lot of noise and a lot of feedback from those detectors in that type of soil. Now, the General program institutes the conductive soil subtraction filter and allows you to use the metal detector, and it quietens it down and it runs stable in those scenarios. So there is a when, where, and why to use the General program. Number 2, there's an added pro tip here of the conductive soil subtraction. It also attenuates smaller foil targets. So in combination with the max frequency, you can use the conductive soil subtraction filter to hunt modern parks or modern trash-loaded sites and pick out good conductive coin targets. Yeah, that gives this program a very, very good benefit to use. So General should be called very, very specialized program. Now, the General program is program number 1 on the machine, and you can set up your reactivity to gain more depth in cleaner soil from a 1 to 1.5 or 2.5 to 3 for polluted mineralized soil. Remember this, that if you're hunting in more mineralized soil, the higher reactivity will give you a benefit of quieting the machine down. You can also see that XP has, you can lower frequency max to 14 kilohertz to be less sensitive low conductive targets such as small aluminum foil, and more sensitive high conductive targets such as large silver coins. That is the magic of the General program. Lower it to 14 kilohertz in the max frequency setting. Use the conductive soil subtraction to help you with the small foil, and this will make one killer coin program. Now, we're going to group the sensitive full tones all together here in the fast. Sensitive and fast both use the same filters behind the scenes. So they're basically the same programs with just different base settings in the menu, such as pitch tones versus 3 tones, etc., etc. But they have the same filters operating behind. So we can just group those 2 programs together. The sensitive and fast program are excellent relic and jewelry hunting programs because you can run the max frequency up to 40 kilohertz, and it is highly efficient on all targets, but it is very, very good on smaller targets too. It hits on pewter buttons if you're an artifact hunter. It hits on gold really, really good if you are a jewelry hunter. You can run the reactivity up or down. If you go down, you'll gain a little more depth. If you're in polluted ground, you can run it up to 3. And remember that if you're in mineralized ground, the higher reactivity will help stabilize the unit. But sensitive and fast, excellent programs, and the Calabash Digger Relic program is based off of the fast program. You can find that video on my channel where I talk about the settings and how I use the fast program at this current time in 2023. Sensitive full tones. Let's talk about sensitive full tones just a minute. In the 1.10 update and the 2.0 update, sensitive full tone uses a different set of filters than fast and sensitive. In the previous versions in 7.0, sensitive full tone, sensitive, and fast all use the same filters behind the scenes, but they do not anymore. So sensitive full tones is a more opened up version of sensitive and fast, which could have some benefits and could have some things on iron where it opens it up to iron a little more. But sensitive full tones, you can experiment with it and see if it suits your needs. But these are all three great relic programs. They're great jewelry programs, and they're the best programs on the Deus 2 for unmasking. So if your objective is to have the best unmasking characteristics of the Deus 2, then you want to choose one of these three programs, especially in heavy iron. Now, the Park program is an interesting program. XP has put some filters in the Park program that make it, good on bottle caps. Now, just keep this in mind that fast, sensitive, and sensitive are a little more opened up than the Park program, but the Park is really tuned in to hunt coins, and it's really good at rejecting ferrous caps. But just always keep this in mind. There is a trade-off. When you set bottle caps to 2 to reject most rusty ferrous caps, you do have a trade-off in unmasking. So just keep that in mind as you're going through the different programs and choosing your program. So Park is just a good general program that XP has come up with to hunt city parks, as it says in the title. Deep High Conductor is a very interesting program. Deep High Conductor is probably the deepest traditional style program on the Deus 2, and it really hits on silver coins really good. It's an excellent program to find high conductive silver coins. Deep High Conductor can be used in different hunting scenarios, and it handles modern trash really well. So, all right, guys, here's one pro tip. When you go out into the field and you're using a lower frequency, multi-frequency program, and this is from any manufacturer these days, the lower frequency program will drain the battery faster. So as you go out to hunt with a lower frequency program, be prepared that your run times will diminish on any manufacturer model today that you're running that runs a simultaneous multi-frequency lower frequency program. That's in like 14 kilohertz down below that, so keep that in mind. General and Deep High Conductor handle aluminum foil mixed with modern coins the best I have seen on any metal detector made at this time. They will tend to ID the coin closer to modern trash than any other programs, and they will also outperform other detectors on the market today in doing this. So if you're hunting coins, Deep HC or General are good starting places, and Park is also a good program, but there's some very specialized things with Deep High Conductor because it's running the lower frequency, and it makes those programs be able to deal with the modern trash really superior to other detectors from what I've seen from testing and using. Highly recommend these for coin hunting. Now we come down to Deus Mono. Where do we use Deus Mono? Well, for me, Deus Mono is a program that I use to deal with EMI. I do not use Deus Mono to hunt iron because I found that fast, sensitive, and sensitive full tones have some unmasking characteristics on odd-shaped coins like cut silver coins and some smaller gold coins, and I want the most unmasking that I can get out of the Deus 2 when I'm hunting heavy iron, and I feel like that the multi-frequency programs have an advantage over the Deus Mono program in that. And the Deus Mono program has an advantage over EMI stability over the multi-frequency programs in a high EMI environment. So basically, program number 7 is my go-to program in high EMI. But we've got Goldfield and Relic, and I just want to touch on these. All right, guys, let's look at Program 8 and Program number 9. And they're pretty self-explanatory as far as Goldfield is concerned. It's a Goldfield gold nugget hunting program. Okay, and it works in highly mineralized ground. You have a discrimination IAR to help disc out iron. But we're going to focus more on the traditional programs today, and we're going to look at Program number 9 just for a minute, which is Relic Program. And I wished XP had named this something a little different, because I see people getting confused about the Relic Program and trying to use it in the wrong environments. The Relic Program is based off of Goldfield but runs a lower weighted frequency, and it's designed to hunt deeper, larger relics or targets in per se. And it is not and does not compare to the traditional programs in iron unmasking and hunting relics in a traditional way. The Relic Program is to be utilized in looking for larger objects and deeper stuff. So if you're hunting artifacts in iron-loaded sites, do not use Program number 9 per se. If you want the best unmasking capabilities, go back to sensitive full tones, and fast. So just keep that in mind. That title gets a little bit misleading, or the name gets a little bit misleading to some. I've seen some, in the past trying to use that program because of the name, thinking, well, it says relic, that means I need to be relic hunting with it. Well, read the description there. It's for larger targets. But that is just an overview of the general sensitive full tones, fast, park, deep high conductor, Deus mono, Goldfield, and Relic program. We will get into the diving program, beach and beach sensitive, in the next video. So you guys stay tuned for that, and we'll have those 3 programs, and we'll talk about those for the beach hunting setting in a separate video. Thank you. Thanks for watching.